So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
first.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny
All
and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning. Happy Monday to all y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to keep clapping. Hopefully you guys are having a marvelous Monday. Hopefully your weekend was everything you ever expected it to be. Mine was really, really fun. Mine was a nice time away from the computers and from the internet and all that. Sorry for it being a late start. Today's a hell of a late start today. We have a very good reason. I don't know what's going on with the earth. I don't know what's going on with the internets, but it's been acting a little funny today. It's acting a little funny. We obviously have some stories about that and everything, but of course, we don't have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of intros and talk about all the stuff and shoot the proverbial ish today, unfortunately, because of how late we started. But yes, we were having some serious internet problems, and I had to basically reboot everything, including my internet, because of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's obviously talks about YouTube being down, Google, Gmail, you name it. Everything has been down apparently, and I'm surprised that we're up right now and actually functioning. But before we jump into all the conversations, Jackie Buck, David is in the house. What's it going, fellas?
What up, man? Good morning. You look like you put on that that nice like suction of water type of fleece. That's looks like so comfortable. Looks like a nice plush bathroom floor mat.
This is very comfortable and very warm.
It looks like it.
And all I'm going to say is this. I open up all the windows in around me right now because this is so warm. This thing is so freaking warm that I could be in the cold and I feel just fine. It's amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's really comfortable, man. It's really comfortable and really, really warm. David, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good here. It's good to see everyone in chat and in both of you guys. It took a while to get here, but I'm ready to talk about these news articles.
Damn, it took a lot to get in here today, man. Damn. You don't understand, guys. Like I said, we were not trying to be lazy or anything of that sort. Literally, I don't know what's going on with the internets and all that. And of course, we could talk about that very, very quickly. But I mean, obviously, YouTube, Gmail, Google, all that stuff, everything that's connected to Google accounts, anything that Google touches was basically down early this morning, and basically, I guess, throughout today. Yeah, we're having we've all been having some issues. I'm seeing everybody, a lot of popular streamers, a lot of popular YouTubers, YouTube creators having the same issues as well. And so, yeah, I don't know what's going on. David said something about, before we started the show, David said something about just like a trifecta of all kinds of crazy things going on, like a meteor shower to, what were you saying again? What were you saying?
There's a meteor shower. There's a lone comet that's skirting fairly close to Earth in terms of comets anyway.
Right.
And then there's also the total eclipse in the southern hemisphere right now. So all those are bad omens. If you've read Shakespeare's Caesar, you might remember all of those from just before the Ides of March.
Yes, beware the Ides of March, as they would say. Countrymen, Rome, or whatever, it's something like that. Lend me your ears. I forgot what it's called. Et tu, Brute. Anyway, yes. So everything you can think of that's going on with the Earth, or orbiting towards the Earth, or going around the Earth, is going on right now. Also, apparently there's some solar flares going off on the sun because it regenerates every so often, or every couple years or whatever. And so apparently there's a lot of solar flares that are going on right now as well. So people are having issues with their cellular services, etc., because of all this stuff that's going on. So anything that you can even remotely wrap your mind around as far as communication, internet wise and whatnot, it is happening today. All right. So we had to reboot everything. I had to reboot everything, including my internet, just so we can get back on and running today. So definitely drop a like if you can, because we worked our butts off to get on for like an hour and 20 minutes today. So you were doing this just for y'all, okay? Just for y'all, okay? All right, that's how much we love you guys. Anyway, we got to jump into the main story. What were we gonna say?
I want to tell you real quick, because you brought that solar flare stuff. That stuff's insane, because that happened last week. There was a solar flare that hit the U.S. And everything, and had major disruptions on and people could see the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights from the Southern Hemisphere.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. And I read a thing. It said in September 10th, 2017, that was the solar maximums. The last time the flares were the max, and the sun had spawned a times 8.3 solar flare. One of the strongest flares ever measured, but it went the opposite way from our planet. They said if it would have hit our planet, it would have been planet-wide blackouts. A lot of satellites would have been fried, and it probably would have caused a global disaster. So
how comfy?
And
how comfy,
now
right?
We are just leaving the solar minimum, and we're going back towards another solar maximum.
Crazy.
Yeah. The solar activity has been increasing for about 3 months, and they keep getting longer and longer. The actual flares themselves are longer than we've ever seen.
Yeah,
so that's what I want to blame it on.
Crazy.
I'm going to blame everything on that.
Crazy. In fact, there's even crazier things like this next story, our top story for today. Andrew Cuomo is facing sexual harassment allegations. Yes, I said it. I thought this man was Superman. I thought this man was super clean, but apparently he is just as dirty as every other politician on this planet. But apparently a former aide to Andrew Cuomo accuses the New York governor of sexual harassment. This lady is former aide to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, is now running for Manhattan Bureau President, and accused him of sexual harassment in a series of tweets on Sunday, saying that he made inappropriate comments about her appearance. The allegation comes as the 63-year-old Democrat is reported to be under consideration for Attorney General under Joe Biden. On Sunday, Lindsey Boylan, that is her name, Lindsey Boylan, tweeted that Cuomo, quote unquote about Cuomo, sexually harassed me for years. Many saw it and watched. I could never anticipate what to expect. Would I be grilled on my work, which was very good, or harassed about my looks? Or would it be both in the same conversation? This was the way for years. Cuomo's press secretary said there is simply no truth to these claims. Boylan, who is 36 years old, worked for the Cuomo administration from March 2015 to October 2018 as executive vice president of Empire State Development, and then as a special advisor to Cuomo for economic development. She did not provide details of the alleged harassment and didn't immediately respond to messages, but then tweeted. She said, quote unquote, to be clear, I have no interest in talking to journalists. I'm about validating the experience of countless women and making sure abuse stops. So obviously these are very interesting allegations. She's not coming out with anything more. She has not come out with any moments or any type of anecdotes about her encounter with Cuomo and these said allegations so far. But she continues to say, I have quit 3 times before it stuck. I've worked hard my whole life, hustled, fake it till you make it style, she wrote. The environment is beyond toxic. I'm still unwrapping it years later in therapy. So There are personal memos that were written in 2018, obtained by the Associated Press, indicate Boylan resigned after she was confronted about complaints about her own behavior. Several women complained to the Empire State Development's Human Resources Department that Miss Boylan had behaved in a way towards them that was harassing, belittling, and had yelled and had been generally unprofessional. So this is what one of the ladies said in one memo. Boylan later on resigned after meeting officials, including Cuomo's top lawyer, Alfonso David, to be counseled about the complaints. So obviously, this is very interesting. You know, she was obviously approached because she was feeling, obviously, whatever was going on with her was making her, was affecting her work. What she was bringing her energy, her anger, and her however she was feeling, she was bringing that into the workplace. And I don't blame her. If these accusations are true, if these allegations are absolutely 110% true, I don't blame her for feeling some type of way going into a job that you absolutely dread walking into. I think that if after some time, if you feel like you're lost, if you feel like you're trapped, it's going to come out some way. All that negative energy, all that negative whatever is going to come out in some sort of way. You see what I'm saying? So I can see her taking it out. Not saying that's justified, but I can see that her Boylan taking those things out on other colleagues, just giving off that negative energy to the rest of the office, where they can misinterpret that as her just having a really bad attitude. So obviously this is something that's still brand new. This broke yesterday. We will find out more information as time goes on. But of course, associates of Cuomo and people who represent Cuomo have said that these are false allegations. These allegations are wrong. But I still would love to see more story behind it. I want to hear some actual stories, not just a tweet or two. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, what are your thoughts?
It definitely is one of those things whenever anybody in power is being announced to have a new, even higher grade job.
Yeah.
It always seems that anybody that from the past that may have had an issue with them for whatever reason, it seems to come out and try to make sure that they can advance their careers or has trouble to do so. If these are all true allegations, then yeah, he should definitely be investigated and be looked at and be have punishment, I guess, put towards him.
Yeah.
It looks like she is running for the president right now too, so that's one of those things too where it's like she announces this and this run for this bureau president, and then this stuff breaks too. There's a lot of news that's focused on her right now.
Mm-hmm.
But she said that her mother was harassed in her first job, and her boss came up and cornered her and kissed her, and then her mom never had that type of job again. So if there's been a family of or a family member that's had previous sexual, that's sexual abuse as opposed to or sexual not harassment, but actual physical touch. It doesn't sound like she had any physical touch towards her. At least that's not what's coming out so far. But I imagine that working in a political office is already hard. But then when you have misogyny and all this stuff going on, where she might be put down for what she's wearing or how she's acting or whatever it might be, that's never an easy situation to be in. And so, David, do you know any more about the situation at all?
Not really, but I do generally agree with you. Something I want to see investigated more. I don't think much in terms of criminal punishment would come from it, since it's just harassment. I think that would be, a fine or something. But especially for someone like him who has political standing, so they're not likely to face the same kind of justice the rest of us are. But I'm not really I wouldn't be surprised if it's true for Cuomo. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Trump. He's one of the people that puts his image and bravado before the results of his actions, and I could definitely see this behavior. Though I would want to see more witnesses before I, like entirely believe it's true. Though, I'm open to her story because it's not something I would see as unexpected in this case. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to believe it by one person's word alone, even if I'm inclined to think that's something he might do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that she said that it's either her looks or for her work, but then she stand behind her work saying that her work was good, but then also in the statement that she made was saying that she was working hard, fake it till you make it,
fake it till you make
style.
it. Mm-hmm.
So everyone thinks they work hard, even if they don't.
Everybody
but when you
says
say
they
you're
hustle.
faking it till you make it, that means that you don't necessarily know what you're doing, right? So you're kind of in there doing what you can and trying to make it work, but not necessarily you don't have that experience already or knowledge of how to do something. So you're faking it till you make it. So maybe her work wasn't as up to par as she thought it was. If she's saying that she was faking it till she makes it, it's just a weird thing to use in your statement about defending yourself.
That's a very good point there. But then you could sit there and say that to any person, right?
Yeah.
Any person that has that job or any person that goes into something new that they've never done before. I mean, you could sit there and say the same thing with President Trump. I think that's for any president. Let's just be completely real. That goes into office. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. They're putting in the hustle, like you said, and faking it till they make it as well. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm not on her team or on her side, and I'm not on Cuomo's side. I mean, this is all hearsay. This is a he said, she said type of situation. But I do find it very interesting, as you guys have said. I'm just going to echo on that really quick. I do find it very interesting that as soon as he's being opted out, he's being vetted to be the attorney general, that all of a sudden this accusation does come out. I find that very interesting as well. Why now? Why not before? Why not while he was doing all this as people were saying, he was doing some really incredible stuff for the state of New York during the pandemic. They were basically stroking him off, for crying out loud, saying how amazing and how wonderful he's done, and so on and so forth. Why weren't these accusations coming out at that time as well? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that you can sit here and go, well, that seems a little fishy. That part seems a little fishy. Now that he's getting something a bigger responsibility, and he might be honored to step up to a whole new platform. Now these accusations come out, and that is strange. That is most definitely strange. But of course, sorry, what were we going to say?
I was going to say that maybe this is just a kind of me guessing about it or thinking, but I mean, it wouldn't have made that much sense for her to come out earlier when he was super popular, because everyone would have immediately shot her down and not listened to her in the slightest, since he was seen as a hero at the time. As for why they might bring it, if it's true, why she might bring it up now, if we look at the previous cases of people doing this when someone's up for president promotion, if we take any of them as true, my guess would be that it's most likely they bring it out then, because there's a kind of anger at seeing them succeed even more, despite the behavior they were engaged in during that period that they're supposedly were so admirable during, while they were actually engaged in bad activities, which is something you see brought up in most confirmation hearings or anything like that. So it's not too surprising to me, especially since during times of promotion, the news and political opponents will start vetting and investigating on their own to find people that had problems with these candidates and kind of try to force them to talk.
Like waking a sleeping bear, in a way.
Yeah.
They want to poke that sleeping bear, see if they can get that person riled up, get things moving and all that, which is really, really crazy. And of course, that's just how it is, right? They try to find anything that could flare up anywhere, just to make sure that person is 110% clean, I guess. But at this point in our lives, let's be real, nobody's clean. Not one person in here, even in this chat, nobody clean. Nobody clean. You know what I'm saying? We all have skeletons in our closet. We're human. We're all people. We live our lives. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? And mistakes are made along the way. So, of course, if they look under the right rock, they're going to find something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether it should be brought to light or not. I guess we're going to find out as time goes on. We got to jump into this next story because this is something that's not under the it's not in the titles, but obviously electoral votes are happening today. I didn't get to put that in the title, but we definitely need to talk about that because that's going on today as we speak. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about this, to be really straight funky on this. I find it very weird. And I need one of you guys to try to at least explain it to me because I'm sure I'm not the only one in this group that might be going, why are they doing why are they voting again? Like, I thought we done. I thought they already did the counting. I thought they already did all that ish. Now they're doing it again. What the hell is going on, y'all? What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Go ahead, David.
All right. Well, so today is the day where the Electoral College actually votes on who is going to be the president. Before this, all the victories were just claimed by the news, which was completely unofficial, but it is generally what we go by as like a population to see who's going to be the president.
Right.
But I think it's December 4th or so that the initial filings from each state's electoral college has to put in their votes and counts of ballots, and then any opposition has 2 weeks to bring it up in court until today. And today is the day that all the electoral college completely convenes and everyone casts their votes for the president, generally based on the state's votes, but not always throughout history. I guess we'll see this time.
Okay, so real quick before anyone else continues, just so I understand, they're just recounting the electoral votes that were counted a month or so past, correct?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Okay, so even though, okay, so we're not expecting a brand new let's just say a crazy turns of events here. You know, like we're not expecting them to come to us and go, oh, actually, Trump won the Electoral College, not Biden, right? I mean, it may be off like a vote or two, right, or a point or two, but we should be expecting the same result and the same story that President-elect Joe Biden is elected and has won even the electoral votes, correct? Or is there going to be like some curveball that comes out of nowhere and suddenly they're like, no, Trump won?
Unless there's a faithless elector, it should go exactly as the initial votes were expected on the 4th.
Okay.
Because the point of the 4th is so that everyone can say what they're going to do, and if there's any problem or legal problem with it, they have 2 weeks to figure it out. It could be different. Like somebody could be like saving up that curveball for the end. Like say some Republican. This is just an example, but say some Republican that does support Trump was saying that he would give his elector vote to Biden. He could change it at the last minute. That is his ability and his right. So
okay.
But it's I don't know if that has actually happened in the past, but it is legally possible.
So it is legally possible for there to be a curveball.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it, but it's legally possible.
Okay, because I ain't ready for that. I don't think any of us are ready for that. Let's be straight real. Come on, y'all. I think we're all ready, regardless, for those people who want Trump to win or Biden to win, it doesn't matter what side you lean on. We're all mentally adjusting to President-elect Joe Biden being president of the United States. I think that if there was that big curveball, I mean, what do you think? I think that would cause a huge problem. I mean, come on, guys. This past weekend, Proud Boys, BLM activists were going toe-to-toe, and people were shot, people were hurt, many people were arrested, all because of being pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I don't know what this would do. I don't know how America would respond if the Electoral College or the electoral votes turn around and become something completely different. If it changes, holy God, this country is going to be on fire.
On the bright side, it would take something like 30 or 40 electors, I believe. I'd have to look at the exact numbers again, but it would take quite a few to actually change the election. Otherwise, we'll probably just see like a legal like attack on faithless electors instead of anything more severe. If somehow he gets 30 electors to be faithless electors, we'll probably start seeing actual violent riots in the street, like with open firing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
2016, there were 7 faithless electors.
Oh.
That was the most we've ever had. But they didn't, like, it was one of those things where, like, Democratic votes didn't necessarily go to the actual Democratic candidate. They went to another Democratic candidate. There's, like, it wasn't like they turned the election at all. They went to people that were, like, the votes basically got washed.
Yeah.
Which I guess could lead to, you know, if somebody's in the lead and then votes didn't go to the actual Democratic elect or whatever it may be, like you could still offset things by not having those votes counted towards the main party. And so, but yeah, it would take a lot. But yeah, I think that there would definitely be some unrest.
I mean, there's already unrest. That's what I was trying to say here a second ago. Yeah. There already is unrest. I mean, shoot, we could pull up videos of Proud Boys and you know, Antifa or BLM, whatever you want to name them, just people going after each other during a pro-Trump rally or a Stop the Steal, rally, basically pro-Trump rally, where, you know, there was just people going at it, you know, people seriously boots in people's faces and stuff like that. Just crazy pandemonium happening because they're either supporting Trump or not supporting Trump. I mean, you know, we've already talked, like there have been videos being shared all over the internets showing people shooting, just being violent, stabbing, killing, or trying to kill. No one was killed, from my understanding. Just people were shot at. There was a lot of violence that happened, and a lot of people were arrested. Thank God there was nobody, as far as I know, unless there's some brand new development. As far as I know, no fatalities happened during this thing. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are already starting to do this. So if suddenly the electoral votes change drastically and it leans Trump, woo, it's going to be bad, y'all. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad if that was to happen.
I looked up the numbers. It would take 37 faithless electors to switch it from Biden to Trump. So
37.
That would be a pretty large conspiracy. I'm pretty sure we would have heard about that by now. Like they wouldn't be able to keep that many faithless electors as a planned secret. I don't think, anyway. I wouldn't expect that scale of a upset at all. We might see a few, which might cause some unrest in their states, but I don't think there's a chance of us seeing 37 faithless electors without being aware of it beforehand.
I think that it's going to. I think no matter what, I'll say this. I think no matter what, there will be a reaction to the inevitable result. Unless there's some, like I said, unless there's some weird curveball and suddenly 37 votes go straight over to Trump and completely drastically change the trajectory of where we think we're going right now. Other than that, I think like people are sitting here, you know, I'm reading everybody's comments and all that, and they're saying, you know, people are going to be out here. People are out here. They're going to sit here and fight. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be rioting. There's going to be a turmoil in the streets. It's already happening. So no matter what, there will be that. No matter what, there will be that. But I think that if it was to drastically change, the people that are not normally on the streets won't be on the streets anymore, and the people that were normally on the streets will be back on the streets, back in the streets again. Does that make any sense? If you notice, all the people like this is, and I'm gonna say it. F it. I'm gonna say it. If you notice, a lot of the people that were sitting there shaking their heads at the protesters that were out in the streets during George Floyd, all the way up to before the election. There were a lot of people out sitting there shaking their head, wagging their fingers at the people that were out in the streets protesting. Now that time has changed and there has been at least the media has said President-elect is Joe Biden, notice that the shift has changed. There has been a shift. Yes, there are still people out there, Antifa and BLM, out there in the streets protesting and doing what they do. But now you're seeing even more Proud Boys. You're seeing the pro-Trump supporters, etc., going out in the streets and starting to protest Stop the Steal. So these are the same people that were in their cozy homes, flipping through channels, talking ish on people out in the streets protesting about Black Lives Matter or anything else. Shaking their head at people who are burning flags and all that stuff. These are the same people that are now out in the streets burning flags, protesting in the streets now. Isn't that interesting? It's not as big. The reaction is not as big, but it could get bigger. I'm not sitting here saying that it's just going to stay at a low hum. It most likely will get bigger. But I think that if it was to change, if they did some drastic thing, there will be absolute chaos in the streets. And it'll be everybody. It'll just be everybody in the streets. Because now the people who said that they would never be in the streets protesting and acting and, doing whatever are now in the streets protesting and doing such. And the people that have been, that are back at home chilling, shaking their heads now, are the BLM protesters, are the Antifa people. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, though? It's like, one's gone out and then the people who are outside are now inside and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just crazy to me that if the election does change, which I really hope it doesn't, the reaction is going to be huge. But it will be both sides in the streets, going after each other. David, you were going to say something. I'm sorry, man. I just wanted to get my thought out. Go ahead.
That's cool. I agree with you generally. Amongst conservatives, for example, we have seen more engagement in the anti-election ideology lately, and that the whole thing is faked. So you have even more people that were only marginally interested before that are like so unhappy with the idea of a Biden presidency, or so unhappy that Trump was cheated in their opinion, that they're starting to join this. And we've already seen it in Portland and DC. Antifa started rioting directly against Biden now, especially after he abandoned most of his liberal cabinet appointments, and he doesn't seem to be working towards some of the liberal ideas that he worked out with Bernie Sanders. They don't seem to be part of his platform anymore. So you're starting to see a lot of the far left also rebelling against Biden at this point, at least in those cities with where the local Antifa is actually far left, and it's not just like a group of locals that are temporarily called Antifa. These two groups have been calling themselves that for a few years now, and they're targeting Biden as much as Trump at this point. A lot of capitalism is the like handbag of both the neoliberal Dems and the Republican Party, things like that. I mean, personally, I was probably leaning more towards that, the further left in some of the ideas. I wouldn't at all associate myself with like Antifa or any of that. But, in terms of like socialized healthcare, things like that, I support those a lot. There's some socialization I'd like to see go away, but for the most part, I would like to see certain aspects socialized to help the nation out better. And even still, even with those ideas, I was just completely turned off by Biden. I see other more leftists seeing it that way too. People that have either more of a traditional liberal leaning or a more modern liberal leaning. And even people that I talked to a little bit that were like very hard Democrats during the primaries are just already talking about Biden in a negative way so much, and talking about a lot of voices I'm hearing now are like, well, now that Biden's in, we need to start making him listen to these liberal ideas that we had, even though it's too late. You needed to make him listen to those liberal ideas before he got elected. So now he has no obligation to fulfill them, and he's not, which is pissing them off. And I think we're going to even see more and more unrest come because Biden had to run on anti-Trump, and he's not exactly the anti-Trump that a lot of people wanted. And at the same time, the people that wanted Trump see him as the anathema, even though he's fairly close in a lot of areas to Trump. So there's just so many people that are unhappy about this, even that are supporting Democrats that are unhappy about Biden, that are out there in the streets causing violence now, especially in Portland and D.C., as I mentioned. I'm not too sure about other areas, but I picked those in particular because they're easy to follow, self-identified, and they have years of reputation built up as Antifa, so it's pretty unquestionable. They're far left liberal leanings, and it's also unquestionable that they're moving out against Biden at this point.
Yeah.
And they still seem to champion Bernie Sanders to a degree, but they're even considering him. It seems a sellout towards the establishment now that he's working with Biden, but not accomplishing any of the plans that that was part of the far left agenda. A good example would be national decriminalization of drugs, which is not going to happen under Biden. Might see weed decriminalized at most, but
it's a step in the right direction for sure. I mean, I don't think anybody should expect Biden to just do everything that everybody wants. Obviously, he has his own agenda and he has his own things that he wants to do. There was a video a while back, we can't really dive into too much, but a couple days ago where he was just going in on a bunch of black leaders. And he was really just putting in his 2 cents and basically just putting his foot putting his foot down. And not sitting here saying that is something that is justified, but I think that just goes to show to you that just because, he is being elected in does not automatically mean that he's going to do everything that the people want. He obviously has his own agenda and his own thoughts of like what's going on. And, wherever you stand, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that we all want him to do, but he's going to do it on his own time, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He is the president. He obviously has his own, or he is president-elect so far. So he's going to do how he pleases because he's the freaking president. You know what I mean? But we got to go into a left turn because I know my boy Jack has to leave here soon. But we're going to play this quick little game. It's called
Pop Quiz Hot Shot.
Yes, it's Pop Quiz Hot Shot, y'all. So this is a little fun thing, a little bit of left turn, I know, but we got to do something a little light, lift the spirits a little bit. Jack's got a game for us. Please comment down below. We're going to play a quick game before we say goodbye to him today. Let's go.
All right. We got holiday trivia questions coming at you. So I'm going to ask you a question. You guys both have a chance to answer, and then we'll just see who's right. And then if you lose, you can contest it, and you can have protests, and you can, do the whole thing, and we'll get some faithless electors for you. So,
okay.
All right.
Let's go.
When was the term Xmas invented?
Like what year?
Yeah, give me like a general thing, and or tell me by who.
Ooh.
Like mid-90s?
No.
I'm thinking like...
Change the other digit.
What? Okay.
Nope, it's not the 90s. Yeah, you got to go further back.
I was gonna say further back. I'm thinking the 60s.
No, the 1500s.
1500s?
Because Christos in Greek gets the letter X.
So it'd be Chimus. Yeah. Chimus. I mean, okay, I see that.
Right on.
All right.
Interesting.
All right.
1500s.
Let's see. True or false?
Okay.
The song Jingle Bells was written specifically for Christmas.
No.
So you're saying false?
I'm saying false.
Okay. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Yes, true.
It is false.
Really?
Yes.
But he
originally
lists...
named the one-horse open sleigh, composed the song in 1850 for a Thanksgiving Sunday school class. And
But
it
that
was
doesn't make
about the jingling bells for the New England sleigh races that were popular in the 1800s.
But that doesn't make any sense, because if the song, he's listing off reindeer, Santa's reindeer.
Well,
Dancer and Prancer
that's a remake.
and
Original.
Oh, okay.
Originally.
So then what?
Originally, it's like the original Jingle Bells.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does that go?
List anybody. So.
What are they saying? Turkey and stuffing.
Let's see.
And cranberry sauce. Like, what is that?
Take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank. Misfortune seemed his lot. We got into a drifted bank, and then we got upsot. I don't know. It just talks. It's a whole different thing. It's been revised over the years, but originally, it was not for Christmas.
Okay.
But it was related to reindeer races, basically, or some kind of racing.
Just straight lies.
Especially in like Russia, Nordic countries, they use reindeers for sleighs for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But they
let's see, when
name-
was Christmas declared a national holiday?
National. Like 1880s. Go with
Ooh,
that.
very close.
I was gonna say 1900s.
Ooh, be more specific, please.
1910.
No, 1870.
Dang, you almost had that, bro.
I figured all the Irish Catholics would have something to do with it.
That's right. True or false? Hanukkah is the most popular Jewish holiday.
False.
Hanukkah is the most popular Jewish holiday?
That's what I asked.
I'm going to say false.
That is false.
Yes, Passover, right?
Correct.
Yeah, bang. Mazel tov, baby. Hey, hey.
Or actually, Shabbat.
Oh, Shabbat.
The most important holiday and popular in the Jewish calendar because it commemorates God's day of rest on the seventh day of creation.
Oh.
So.
Wait, Shabbat is...
Saturday.
But the Shabbat... Isn't the Shabbat... Nah, I'm about to say something stupid. I'm not Jewish, so I'm not going to sit here and say something stupid. I thought that was
just Hebrew for Sabbath.
I thought it was part of the Passover. Shabbat.
I think so, but it's
a Saturday, every Saturday.
Yeah, every Saturday.
Oh, never mind then. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Like I said,
how many days of Kwanzaa are there?
12. Wait, Kwanzaa? Never mind. Ignore that.
You know, honestly, I do not know.
Take a guess.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess.
8.
I was going to say 7.
7's correct.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because there's a thing every day for 7 days. Yes.
Yeah. Do more Americans get real or artificial trees?
Artificial.
I was going to say artificial.
Artificial's correct.
Yeah. I love real trees though, but I feel bad every time. You know what I'm saying? Like now I have fake trees.
Yeah.
I got fake trees, bruh.
What does the word Hanukkah mean?
Hanukkah. Hanukkah means...
2, 1.
It means oil. I don't know. the candle, oil candles. I don't know.
Dedication.
That was my next guess. That was my next guess. Dedication.
What year was Kwanzaa created?
1973.
Close.
I was going to say like 1965.
Ooh, 1966.
Ah, on point with Kwanzaa, man.
You know what I mean?
These are all, it's either Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or Christmas. These are the questions I got for you. So
okay.
We're going to see what's up here. Okay. What is the candle holder for Hanukkah called?
Candelabra.
Well,
it's a candelabra, yes, but no, it's a menorah.
It's a menorah. Correct. Right. What year was... hold on a second. Let's go to... Which 3 colors are used in Kwanzaa?
Red, green, and black?
Yeah.
Red, green, and black, correct. Let's see here. Who was the first U.S. president to recognize Hanukkah in the White House?
First U.S. president recognized
To
Hanukkah.
recognize Hanukkah in the White House.
In the White House.
Well,
JFK.
that'd be pretty modern.
JFK.
What'd you say?
JFK.
No.
Hoover.
Nope. Jimmy Carter. 1979.
It's even more recent than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not
True
surprising.
or false? You're supposed to light all of the candles on the first night of Hanukkah.
False.
No. False, yeah.
Correct. False. Let's see. What is the candle holder for Kwanzaa called?
Candelabra. I don't know.
Stole
A
my answer.
Kanara.
Huh?
A Kanara.
A Kanara. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How much money do Americans spend on average on holiday gifts per person?
How much money?
How much money do Americans spend on average on holiday gifts per person?
$100.
For Christmas or all holidays?
For holidays.
$100.
Yeah, $150.
Nope. $1,000 per person is the estimated average.
What?
You gotta remember,
One
some of these people
person?
get cars for Christmas.
Holy cow!
Some of these
yeah,
people
average,
get
I
like,
guess.
oh, I bought you a house.
Bruh!
You gotta go on average. You know?
$1,000? Man, you
It's like
bet.
Trump buys his kids a golden yacht, so that raises the average. Or
Oh
something.
my God, man! Are you kidding me? $1,000?
Yeah, $1 trillion a year.
What are you giving
That's
that
on
person
campus.
for $1,000? Jesus, I'm sorry. That's a lot of monies. You better save my life or something, man. I'm saying real talk. You better
Right.
like push me out from getting ran over by a locomotive or something. Man, $1,000? Shoot. Okay, continue.
Which
$1,000?
department store was featured in the film Miracle on 34th Street?
Macy's.
Wait, say that again. What was the question?
Which department store was
Macy's.
featured? Yeah, in the Miracle on 34th. That's
Yeah, it's
correct.
Macy's.
What is the highest grossing Christmas movie?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Die Hard.
Home Alone.
Oh, snap. Come on. That ain't fair, man.
Which is more popular for gift purchasing, Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
Cyber Monday.
Wait, what? Ask the question one more time.
What is more popular for gift purchasing, Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
Wait, you mean as of like this year or like all the time?
All the time.
I'm still going to say Black Friday.
Black Friday. Correct. Let's see. True or false? Christmas originally began as a pagan holiday.
True.
True.
True. Yes. Let's see. In the Christmas story, The Gift of Magi, what does the wife sell in order to purchase a gift for her husband?
Her hair.
Correct. Look at that.
I know my Christmas
Who was
trivia.
the author of A Christmas Carol?
Oh.
Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
Correct. How many reindeer were in the story 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
And all through the house, not a creature was...
8.
12. 12.
No.
Okay, I said 12, and then there was a huge pause. I'm like, what's going on?
I'll stick with 8. I don't really know that.
8? Yeah, because Rudolph
Okay.
wasn't in the story.
Oh, okay.
Because he said 8, and then you didn't respond. So I was like, oh, okay. So then it must be more than
You
that.
talked over him. I couldn't.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And the last one.
Okay.
What made Frosty the Snowman come to life?
Hat. Top hat.
Yeah, his hat.
Correct. So I didn't keep score, but I think you're both winners in my book.
Well, thanks.
So,
I
thank you.
annihilated him. It's all good. I annihilated him. I know my Christmas trivia. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm very
I
proud
think
of that.
Pascal's more into Christmas than me.
Yes, I am. And if you saw my IG story this past weekend, my whole family, we were going in on some Christmas music. We were doing karaoke, etc. We were having a blast. Okay, we had a blast. So yes, my family's very, very much into the holiday spirit or into the holidays. And so, yeah, when it comes to this kind of trivia, you know, I'm going to annihilate you. Anyway. And I say that with all the love in my heart. That was Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Jack, thank you so much for being on today, man. I really appreciate it. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. The vaccines apparently are here in America. We're going to talk about that in a very short while. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye. Merry Christmas.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination. Image a world. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.
You're watching Pascal in the Morning. Welcome back.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter line.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being part of the conversation. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. I'm working towards 25,000 subscribers right now. We are finally past 14,000. We are in the 14s, y'all. I thought I was going to be in the 13s for a good long time, but that was a lie. And it's been a wonderful thing. So please go crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I also do a Tuesday through Thursday evening show. So even during the middle of the week, if you miss me, you get to see me twice. Yes, I said it. Anyway, Hit that like button down below if you're enjoying the conversation. Let's get this moving. All right, before we jump into our story about the vaccines and how they are here, the first rounds of vaccines have arrived. We are going to be talking about that very shortly. But T's got another story about Tyler Perry doing something pretty philanthropic. What's the story, man?
Yeah, film and TV mogul Tyler Perry has donated $100,000 to a legal defense fund of Kenneth Walker, who was the boyfriend of the black medical worker Breonna Taylor, who died in her home at the hands of Louisville Metro Police. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Taylor, was shot in the leg by one of the officers during a botched raid. Then he was actually sued by the officers as well due to shooting one of the police officers in the leg. And the officer claimed the lawsuit was over battery and emotional distress. The GoFundMe page was launched on behalf of Kenneth Walker to help raise funds for his legal defense against the police department. Perry's generous donation was made in 4 separate transactions on Sunday afternoon, and it surpassed their goal of $100,000.
That's what's up. That's big news, because I know that there's a lot of legal stuff that they're going through, especially the Breonna Taylor team and the people that all like her boyfriend and all that. They're going through some legal stuff. I mean, I think that they're going to be they're going to be in and out of court for a very, very long time. So, and no matter where you stand, where your thoughts are on this. Shoot, legal bills can be very expensive. Things can get very, very expensive, especially when you're bringing in some of the best to fight your plea or fight your case. So the fact that that Tyler Perry is doing that is a wonderful thing. But why not make it $1 million? You know what I'm saying? Why not just throw on one more zero? You got enough money? Just throw on another zero on that, bruh. Make it 7 figures. Make it $1 million. That's all I'm saying. Share, baby, share. But at the same time, beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm not trying to throw any shade. I'm not. Because that's still an amazing thing. But you got the money, man. You got the monies. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that that the family, anybody that was attached to Breonna Taylor's death, murder, killing, shooting, wherever you stand on this, we can all agree that they're not going to stop until, there's going to be legal problems till the cows come home. You know what I'm saying? So, and due to all these solar flares that are going on, the cow's GPS is all out of whack, so they don't even know when they're coming home. So, in that case, Tyler Perry coming in and throwing down some serious cash is an amazing thing, and I give him mad props for it. But at the same time, throw on another with zero, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Share. T, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I believe that the number was the exact amount he needed for the legal fees. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming he was just, only asking for that. But Tyler Perry, has had a history of having some issues with money in terms of paying people. I remember there was a dispute previously between Tyler Perry and someone else. But I think it was initially resolved. I believe that Tyler Perry, with his acquisition of his studios in Atlanta, he definitely will have enough revenue now to really help out going forward for sure.
Yeah.
And also on this note, I believe that the victim of this case, the boyfriend of Breonna Taylor, he was a legal licensed carrier for firearm in that state. And we can't forget that this is a citizen who has Second Amendment rights to protect itself. And then someone was to burst into your apartment unannounced on a no-knock raid. You're going to assume that it's some kind of danger. And from what he said previously, he thought it was an older boyfriend coming back to assault Breonna Taylor. And, so he was definitely trying to defend himself and her. from the ex-boyfriend. He didn't know these were actually cops. So I believe that, and I'm still waiting for the 2A community to step up and in defense of this young man who was legally carrying and legally had the legal act to defend himself rightfully against any kind of danger and tyranny.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if it's from his perspective, the same perspective I would have is that he's just at home and then someone's violently breaking into his house, and not just one person, but multiple. In that situation, I probably would have responded very much the same. If they had, that's why I'm a big proponent of knocking and introducing yourself, because you're less likely to get shot that way. Sure, the criminals will know you're there, but criminals that are going to shoot at police are probably inclined to shoot at anyone that breaks into their house anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it does seem like he's defending himself. And there was a recent ruling in a different case that people are allowed to defend themselves against illegal actions of police. Though I think the issue is that these weren't considered illegal actions by the Attorney General of the state. So, I would like to see like concealed carry permit specialists and that start trying to defend this guy, because Mr. T is very right in that this isn't just a case of them improperly performing a raid and killing someone on accident. This is pretty much the foundation that you can defend yourself against people that are attacking you when you don't know who they are, which is basically what the ruling before said on defending yourself against the police. I don't remember the specific case. It wasn't as scandalous as this one, but it did have the ruling that he was allowed to defend himself and that the police did not have total immunity in cases like that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I agree with all that you guys are saying here. I think that it's, like I said, I think for a very long time, I think this would be something that goes on and on and on for all the legal issues that the boyfriend is dealing with, all the legal issues that the family's dealing with. This is going to be something that they're going to be dealing with for a very long time. And so any bit of money, of course, is, I'm sure, more than appreciated by the Breonna Taylor family and the Breonna Taylor legal team. Yeah, I mean, as they inch and fight their way towards justice for Breonna, and for the boyfriend, that they're gonna take anything they can get. So huge shout out to Tyler Perry for going out of his way to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's still, regardless, even if it is a zero short. All jokes aside, real talk, I think it is a very amazing thing that he did, and we'll see how much that dollar stretches. How far that dollar stretches for the Breonna Taylor family and the Breonna Taylor legal team. But moving on to the next thing, we got T on just for a few more moments. So let's jump into this conversation. The vaccines. The vaccine has officially arrived in California. Obviously, right after the FDA has given the thumbs up to allow the Pfizer vaccine to be administered throughout the country. This is a very interesting story and an interesting turn of events, huge turn of events, and in hopes that this could change the trajectory of where the country is going, economically speaking, and as far as the death rate, because the death rate is now past 300,000 deaths in America alone. 300,000, y'all. We have surpassed 300,000. Okay, so as ICU, as hospitals and ICU beds become past the capacity of 95% or more in multiple states, this is crucial time. This is crunch time for a lot of people. David's got the story. What's up, man?
All right. So, as you probably heard, the Pfizer vaccine was approved for distribution just last week. And I think it was, 22 voters, 4 dissent, and of those 4 dissented and 1 abstained, and the rest approved it. And so after that approval, FedEx has delivered the first batch of vaccines at LAX on looks like 2 Boeing 777s, and so California is getting 300,000 vials of the vaccine, which will go to frontline healthcare workers and the most at risk. And 75,000 of those vaccines will go to places across the Bay Area, including, I don't know what this actually is, UCSF.
USCFSF?
UCSF.
UCFSF. Sorry, UCSF?
San Francisco, maybe?
Yes. I think that's San Francisco.
All right, so those are getting distributed across California. They're like some of the other plans are to treat frontline workers first, including healthcare workers and service workers, as well as they're also looking at treating treating people in nursing homes, though they haven't given a number on that. It's not too surprising. We've recently had some more numbers released on that, and out of the 300,000 deaths we have now, 110,000 of those deaths were from nursing homes, which is 38% of all deaths in the U.S. have been at these elderly homes. And so that's probably why they're picking that. And out of all those deaths, I think 8% of them are in New York, but a large percentage are also in the California area. I couldn't get the exact numbers throughout the state. And also, they are having a problem not just in California, but across the country where... wrong article. Let's see. Where nursing home doctors and patients are refusing to take the vaccine, or at least they don't want to take the vaccine because, let's see, their reasoning is that this is from a former Marine who was a nurse there. He said, trepidation is a good word. I have a little bit of trepidation towards it. And he's not a worker. He's a patient at one of the nursing homes. And another one said that it seems like it's rushed, but I know there's a reason to rush it. And so basically a lot of elderly people, especially in those age groups that were minimally tested over 80, are very concerned about the vaccine, even though, again, well over a third of the deaths are happening at these nursing facilities. And that's generally it for the American side of the vaccine right now. We're still waiting for the Moderna's final approval, which should be this week. They had their initial approval based on their testing, and the FDA, I believe, has just finished their testing. So we should be seeing a vote on that vaccine soon. Some of the other vaccines we might see a delay on. AstraZeneca is still trying to get approval through the FDA. The Chinese Sinopharm is being no longer tested in some places in South America, like Peru, because it's causing intense neurological attacks on people or on one person so far, and their minimal testing. So it looks like, as far as we're concerned, the Pfizer vaccine is the one we're going to be dealing with for at least another week or two. And we might get Moderna by the end of the year. The other vaccines are not looking promising. They are going through more testing than these vaccines that are approved now. And that more testing is showing problems that have been delaying them consistently.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as we've talked about on the show, countless times, we have talked about how, how quickly they've turned out this vaccine, how quickly it's been out, and how quickly they're putting it in people's bodies. We've obviously have gone through multiple times, countless times, talked about how how many different types of side effects that people have reported due to this vaccine and all that. So obviously it's giving people great pause. So much pause that I wanted to read this. This is a tweet, and I found this very, very interesting. This is a tweet from our president, our very own president. He says in a tweet, now, understandably, there's a lot of frontline workers and a lot of people that are going to be front in line. I just broke up front line to front in line. But anyway, there's a lot of people that are going to be in line first getting this vaccine. That's including not only just frontline workers, but also government officials, etc. Now, I did a pop-up video. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check this one out, where I talked about how three ex-presidents are willing to go on camera to take the vaccine to ensure to help the American people feel a little bit more comfortable taking the vaccine, right? Now, of course, we all think other people would follow in suit. Well, I got a tweet from President Donald Trump himself, and he says this, and I quote, people working in the White House should receive the vaccine somewhat later in the program, unless specifically necessary. I have asked that this adjustment be made. I'm not scheduled to take the vaccine, but look forward to doing so at the appropriate time. Thank you. Let me read that one more time for you guys. I want to make sure that sinks in. Let me make sure. Let me massage them oils into your brains. Okay, hold up. One more time. People working in the White House should receive the vaccine somewhat later in the program, unless specifically necessary. I have asked that this adjustment be made. I'm not scheduled to take the vaccine, but look forward to doing so at the appropriate time. Thank y'all. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys hear that. That is a tweet from Donald J. Trump himself. But this is also, at the same time, you got 3 ex-presidents that are willing to take the vaccine. And he's going, oh, y'all, hey, wait a second. Hold up. You got this wrong. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Yeah, we understand that everybody's going to go up in front to get this vaccine, but I ain't. No, we going to wait for a second. Hold up. Let's pause. Hold up. Nobody in the White House is getting this ish unless we gots to. Okay? Thank you. I'm sorry.
To be honest, that's what a lot of governments are saying that aren't in the West right now. Russia's not taking their own vaccine. Chinese government's not taking their vaccine. They're not taking Moderna or Pfizer's vaccine either.
Ain't nobody trying to take this vaccine, yo. Yeah. This is hilarious. This is hilarious to me.
Well, it's sad because if you don't know that Massachusetts and 6 other states are actually first in line for the vaccine.
Right.
There's a few prisons who are getting this batch for inmates immediately, like this week, which is a red flag. Like guinea pigs. Yeah,
like England. Perfect example. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just like
CIA
England
has repeatedly tested it on American citizens in prison before, especially in the 70s and the 80s with different mind-altering drugs. So that's not unusual at all.
You also got to remember, though, too, a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people that don't really trust. There's a lot of black people that don't really trust it as well because, you got the Tuskegee experiment and all the stuff that went on during that time and all the BS that went down during that time. Then you got Fauci, just to add this onto this, you got Fauci that has gone on and said, hey, black people, you should feel totally fine taking this vaccine because, it was co-created by a black female scientist. So you should be totally fine with this. Totally fine taking this vaccine. It's totally safe. A black woman was a part of the team. Totally safe, guys. Yet, when we talked about it on the show, I think it was last Friday, and we talked about it on the morning show, we talked about how many black people were actually tested, used in this test. Not many were tested. Not many. And I don't mean to take this on a left turn into just the black community and the black community taking the vaccine, but we got to have that conversation for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
For sure.
Doesn't matter if there was a black woman involved with the vaccine. She didn't take it. She wasn't one of the test subjects. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that this is going down. Obviously, for a fact, let's be straight funky, y'all. For a fact, Donald Trump got a direct line to the truth. He got a direct line to the facts, baby. So, of course, he's reading all these facts. He's hearing about all these facts, the possibility of X, Y, and Z happening. And what does he go? What does he do? He goes, puts out a tweet and says, oh, no. Well, no. This is me being selfless, you see. Those vaccines should be going to people that need it. I don't need it. My people in the White House don't need it. My wife and my kids don't need it. We'll be last. No. You first. Go ahead. America first. No. He knows exactly what's going on in regards to the possibility, the probability of getting a side effect from this vaccine. Of course he's going to sit there and go, wait, no. No, guys, come on. I'm the president. I care about my people first. Get well. Go ahead, America. No. He knows exactly what's going on, so therefore he's dragging his feet. But you got 3 other ex-presidents that are willing to jump in and take the vaccine in front of everybody just to make everybody comfortable taking the vaccine. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, we're going to find out. Like as this week goes on, I'm sure there's going to be horror stories that are going to be popping out. You know how it is. There's going to be horror stories. There's going to be horror stories. For sure. Now I understand. There's the other thing. Now I understand that they've been working on a vaccine for coronavirus, a strand of coronavirus for a while now. Before there was a outbreak, before there was a pandemic, allegedly, they had been working on getting a vaccine for this virus in the first place, a specific strand of this virus. But still, they're able to pump this thing out within months and put this in your body. Yet you got people that are still dying of cancer, AIDS, cold sores, not dying from them, but you know what I'm saying. Cold sores still exist. The common cold, man. No, real talk. Let's throw let's be real. All these other these that we deal with on a daily basis. And you got this vaccine, which I understand that we needed to green light that and put that on the fast track. But it's so quick. And then we already hear about all these side effects that have happened already. We got leaders of other countries that are not willing to take their own vaccine, that they are spearheading. And you see, lo and behold, you got a tweet from the man himself. Our president is sitting there going, nope, we're not taking any of it unless we need to. I'll take mine at a later time. That's why what's going on is he's sitting here saying, no, y'all, I don't want the first generation iPhone. I'm good on it. I'll wait till the second one comes out, and then I'll take it. And then I'll gloat on how I spearheaded this. Go ahead, David.
I'm taking the cynical view here, and that
please,
you're right. Yeah, Trump is he's avoiding taking it because, kind of like Mr. T said, this is being tested on the prison population, and even if they're saying it's for their safety, to me it's pretty blatantly just to cover for testing. It's not unusual to test prisoners. It's been done in a lot of more tyrannical countries. We just generally say it's for their safety instead of for the safety of the country or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so, we're seeing that same way that, Russia's letting its public citizens test the vaccine before its people do. And China's letting its healthcare workers test it before its government officials do. This is pretty common. The people that promote the vaccines aren't going to take them first because there's just, scientifically speaking, isn't enough data for them to make that decision reasonably, especially disregarding their own desire to stay safe and protected, which is much easier for them to do in the first place. There's really no reason for them to take this vaccine. There's just not enough data for it to make sense with someone in that position where a few days or even weeks off could completely ruin their ability to perform. And any long-term effects that show up in 6 months will have a much greater effect on a leader of a country than a regular person. Effect for everyone in the country, not just that person themselves. So we aren't going to see a lot of these people taking the vaccine. Same reason we won't see Jimmy Carter take it most likely, because he's outside of the group that was safely tested for. It would be very foolish for him to take the vaccine, considering there's only maybe 1 or 2 pieces of data on someone his age. 1 or 2 pieces of data is not enough. There is no one tested over 95, to my knowledge, in the Pfizer and Moderna test. And the first vaccination of someone over 95 was the UK woman, and that was only about a week ago. So we really don't have any data on what happens to someone of that age taking a vaccine. And we've seen intense problems from every single vaccine that's been released that have not been correlated to a direct cause yet. So there's a lot of questions in any of the vaccines. And to be honest, that's why the public is testing these vaccines first. It's because like our FDA and CDC directly said, we need 6 more months of data to know if it's good. And so someone has to test it. And the best way to get people to test it is to convince them it's for their own good. And then once they take that test, everyone else can know if the test is actually for their own good or not. And then they can decide if they need to take it. So it's to everyone's advantage that it's everyone's advantage, cynically speaking, that people do take this vaccine immediately, because we need to see what happens to those people so that we can know if it's a good idea for us to take it.
But that's really jacked up if you really think about it. Hey, guys, go ahead. Frontline workers, y'all. I'm just saying. Imagine 10%, just 10% of those 6.5%, right? Let's just say 6.5% or 5.5%. I don't know. I got the math all wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Let's just say 5.5% of those frontline workers do not have a good holly jolly Christmas with this experience of taking this vaccine. And we lose that 5%. Let's just say 5. That's still a lot. That's still a lot, y'all. Just so that we can experiment, just to make sure that it's okay for people to take. You're administering this to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. They're hoping to vaccinate at least 75% of the country because they believe in herd immunity or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, you're going to put all of this on the line, the American people on the line, just to see if this thing is going to work or not. Ridiculous in my personal opinion.
It's happening today. I mean,
crazy.
In New York, they had a live stream today of a nurse, Lindsay, that she took the first dose in NYC this morning.
Yes.
And it was live streamed, and they applauded her, and it was like, great job. And it was like, are you serious? You know, I think that I'm personally skeptical of it. You know, just them parading this nurse in New York City as being the first one to take this vaccination, and she's a black woman as well. Mm-hmm. So it seems like it's like, you know, politics, and they're trying to advertise. Don't worry, everybody, she's doing it. You know, go ahead and follow her lead. You know, and we don't know what's going to happen to her. And hopefully she's okay, but we don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, every single person that you know, I'm just going to be real. Any person that you know is going to take that vaccine, and say you're not going to take the vaccine. And that's your prerogative. If you feel comfortable taking the vaccine or not, that's on you. And I'm not going to ever throw any shade on any person that actually ends up getting vaccinated and is fine afterwards. I'm not throwing any shade on any person that takes the vaccine. Seriously. Please, Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand you got to do whatever you need to do so that you can go back to work and do whatever you need to do. So I commend you guys, and I salute every single person that ends up taking the vaccine. But at the same time, any person that you know that's going to take the vaccine, keep a close eye on that person. If you're at all skeptical of what could possibly happen, or if you think there's going to be a negative reaction to any person, like that lady who just took the first vaccine, everybody and their mama should be watching her ass. I'm serious. I'm going to be watching her. I'm going to find out what her IG account is. I'm going to start watching her. I'm going to be following her like a mug, because I want to make sure that this is the right type of thing to put into my own body or anybody else's body. The person, like my girlfriend, my family, like this is some serious stuff. So any person that you know that ends up taking the vaccine, I would just say keep a close eye on them if you feel skeptical about the vaccine. Real talk. Because like I said, we're going to hear more stories about this, about the side effects. We're going to be hearing more stories about it throughout the weeks to come. Go ahead, David. What were you going to say?
Okay, so what we're seeing so far, I do just want to throw these warnings out there. Sure. If you have any neurological problems, like migraines, which I do have, you might want to avoid this for now, because that could be tied to the neurological effects we saw in Peru. Again, I don't have a lot of data from Peru. They don't upload it to our American English server, so can't read it all. I can read some of it, but it just seems like they're still trying to figure out exactly what causes the neurological attack, but it was expected to be because of previous neurological problems that the person had. If you have severe allergies, you should not take it. It's not pinpointed to what type of allergies cause this yet. It could be food, medicine, or natural allergies. So if you have any of those, you'll probably be screened out of the testing in the first place and not be allowed to take it. But if they don't ask you, bring that up first, because that's what caused the anaphylactoid reactions in the UK doctors, which put several UK doctors in the first round of testing down for a few days, or maybe a week, I think it was. So that's part of why there's a concern about testing it on doctors first, because then there's once they go down for a while, there's no one to treat the patients or the doctors. And let's see, what else was the other one? Oh yeah, if you have thin blood and take blood thinners, or there's certain types of blood type. I think if you have A blood types, you might have more adverse reactions to the vaccine. It may be correlation instead of causation. We need more data to know for sure. So the blood thinning might not have anything to do with the vaccine. We just don't know for sure yet. So be hesitant. Bring it up with your doctor if you get the shot. If you're on blood pressure medication, that should be part of your screening. And if it's not, bring it up to your doctor and take your medication with you. These are just my warnings based on, adverse reactions that have stopped testing in other nations and our own nation.
Yes. And here's the thing. That's what's so funny. I know T has to get going. So thank you so much for being on, brother. Thank you so much, bro. You have a good one. All right.
All right. See you guys.
All right, man.
All right.
Peace.
Take care, man.
So we got to wrap up the show anyway. But before we get going, see, those are the kind of things like when you hear these kind of stories, like, oh, there's also stories of if you have severe allergies, don't take it. If you neurological issues, don't take it. If you're taking blood thinners, don't take it. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many precautions that you have to look at before you even take this vaccine. So if your body is just fine, if you good, then you should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? You should be fine. But some people don't know what ailments they have. There's a lot of people out here that don't know if they have neurological issues or heart issues or blood issues or any of those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's a scary, scary thought to put something into your body that you're not 110% comfortable with taking. And I'm not trying, like I say this a million times. I always say this. On my life, I am not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm not trying to stop or deter anyone from taking the vaccine. I know a lot of people. I got a lot of close friends and a lot of family members that are very excited about taking the vaccine because they just want to stop being paranoid. They just want to stop being scared of being around people or going to a supermarket and catching the Rona just because they picked up a bag of cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a terrifying thing. So I understand we got to do whatever we can. We got to do whatever we can so that we can get back to life, get back to some sort of normalcy. Mind you, I'll say this too. Bill Gates was just in an interview just recently, as of yesterday, and he said that we probably won't see normalcy until 2022. That we won't see some semblance of what life used to be like for another year and a half. Even when the vaccines are administered. That's something to put in the back of your brain as well. And now, of course, I'm saying this, and this is, from Bill Gates of all people. And there's a lot of people that have their theories and their own, hang-ups about Bill Gates. But for him to say something like that, and for Fauci to echo basically the same thing, saying that we won't see normalcy until probably the end of 2021 is serious. That's some serious stuff. Now, they're doing the first round. We're going to see what happens with it. We're going to see here very, very soon how it turns out. We're definitely going to see how it turns out. I say keep your eyes peeled. Keep watching, the websites and keep listening to the news. Keep checking down your friends that are taking it, that kind of thing. Before, there's some people that have no hangups about taking it. And if those friends are going to do it, hey, keep an eye on them. Make sure that they're okay. Not only just for your own safety and for your own peace of mind before you take the vaccine, but just because you're a good human being. Keep an eye on your friends. You know what I mean? This is going to be some crazy times here coming up very, very soon. All right. And we will be talking about it here on the show without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for anything that drops, any news that comes out. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get going. I want to say big thank you to Jack, to T, to David for all coming on today. I really do appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, man. Love it.
Say it with a little bit more enthusiasm next time, man. Damn.
I'll try.
Thanks for being on. Yeah, love it.
That's my excited voice.
Yeah, that was seriously excited. That was amazing. That's a lot coming from you. Anyway, we got to get going though. I appreciate everybody for being on. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about Sia and Shia LaBeouf, but I will make sure to talk about it at some point here soon. Like anybody really cares anyway. Let's just be really honest. But y'all be safe. Be safe out there. Stay clean. Stay healthy. And we'll be seeing you guys very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.